6 months ago, the entire internet froze, not because of a trend, not because of a scandal, but because of a discovery so disturbing, so unexpected, that it shattered the image of one of the fastest rising young stars of the decade. A body found inside the trunk of an abandoned Tesla in Los Angeles. A vehicle registered to David, a 20-year-old whose career had exploded almost overnight. Tonight, we're going to break down everything we know about the case, the investigation, the inconsistencies, and the unanswered questions that still haunt the public. This is the story of a rise, a fall, and a mystery that refuses to die. To understand the magnitude of this collapse, we need to understand who David was before everything fell apart. A teenager from Texas, obsessed with gaming, recording music in his bedroom with a cheap microphone and a dream. He wasn't supposed to make it, but in 2022, everything changed. A song he recorded in a closet, raw, emotional, imperfect, exploded on TikTok. Overnight, David went from uploading Fortnite montages to signing with major labels, performing at massive festivals, and becoming the voice of a generation drowning in heartbreak. He had the world at his feet. And then, everything stopped. September 8th, workers at an impound lot in Hollywood call 911 after noticing a foul smell coming from a black Tesla with Texas plates. The car had been towed days earlier after being found abandoned in the hills. When officers opened the front trunk, they found a body in an advanced state of decomposition. The scene was already horrifying, but everything escalated when they ran the plates. The car belonged to David. At first, the public narrative was completely different from what it is today. David's team moved fast. They released a statement claiming he was devastated, insisting the car had been stolen, and promising full cooperation with authorities. And the truth is, the alibi looked solid. David wasn't even in California when the body was found. He was nearly 2,000 kilometers away, performing on tour. For a week, most people believed he was just a victim of terrible luck, but that illusion didn't last long. The case changed completely when the victim was identified, a teenage girl who had been missing for nearly 2 years. Someone who, according to online investigators, had known David personally. Someone who, some claimed, had even been romantically involved with him. Suddenly, the stolen car theory collapsed. The internet began digging. Old videos, lyrics, animations, and performances were re-examined under a new, darker lens. What once looked like artistic expression now felt like foreshadowing. For months, the case went silent. No updates, no arrests, no statements. But behind the scenes, something huge was happening. A secret grand jury, subpoenas, witnesses forced to testify under oath, searches in properties linked to David, even reports of a high-temperature incineration device found in one of the locations investigators visited. The public thought the case was dying, but the truth is, it was just beginning. Authorities knew the key to the case wasn't just evidence. It was people, friends, associates, anyone who might know what happened during the months the victim disappeared. One close friend of David was even arrested in another state for refusing to testify. They brought him back to California in handcuffs. That's how serious this investigation had become. After months of silence, the news finally broke. David had been arrested, no bail, held by homicide detectives, and suddenly, the internet exploded again. But the arrest raised even more questions. Why now? Why after months of investigation? And why did the grand jury, after hearing so many witnesses, not issue a formal indictment? Something wasn't adding up. The biggest problem for prosecutors is simple. The body was too decomposed. Forensic experts struggled to determine the exact cause of death, and without that, proving murder becomes extremely difficult. David's defense will argue, if you can't prove how she died, how can you prove who did it? And that argument could change everything. David's first court appearance is expected to be a media circus. The charges will be read, the plea will be entered, and the world will watch every second. But the truth is, nobody knows how this will end. The evidence is incomplete, the timeline is messy, and the questions are endless. What we do know is this: a young girl lost her life. A family has been waiting years for answers, and the truth, whatever it is, will eventually come out. This case isn't just about David's fall from fame. It's about a victim whose story deserves justice. It's about a system trying to uncover the truth through layers of secrecy, silence, and fear. And it's about the internet, watching, speculating, and trying to piece together a puzzle that still has missing pieces. As the legal battle begins, one thing is certain: the world will be watching, and the truth will not stay buried forever.